Welcome to the Whole Counsel Devotional for Friday, February 16th. We've spent the last 2 days looking at the ark as a type of Christ. If you didn't catch the video for either of those last 2 days, I encourage you to go back and listen. It's some awesome stuff. Not because of what I said or did, but because God is awesome. And I absolutely love the kinds of details we looked at on Wednesday and Thursday. Anyway, we're done with that and now need to pick back up in Genesis. Where to begin is the question, but let's start in verse 13 of chapter 8. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, that the waters were dried up from the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and indeed the surface of the ground was dry. And in the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dried. Then God spoke to Noah, saying, Go out of the ark, you and your wife, and your sons wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and cattle, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, so that they may abound on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. Similar to God's initial commandment in Genesis 1, God's declaration is to be fruitful and multiply. So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him. Every animal, every creeping thing, every bird, and whatever creeps on the earth according to their families, went out of the ark. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. What a beautiful first act of Noah. He and his family have been cooped up in this ark of salvation for a year, and the first thing that Noah does is build an altar to offer to the Lord. Obviously, this is what God wanted, as he commanded Noah to bring 7 of every clean animal for this specific purpose. But there's just something beautiful in this first act. And the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. Then the Lord said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground for man's sake, although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Nor will I again destroy every living thing as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease. So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth. Again, this is like God's first commandments to Adam and Eve. But here's the difference. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the air, on all that move on the earth, and on all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs. For the first time, God puts the fear of man into the animals. In spite of the fact that we see that there are clean and unclean animals, God gives every moving thing that lives as food for mankind. I'm glad that he has given us that freedom. Now, while I'm not interested in eating, say, tarantulas as they do in Cambodia, there's a lot of wonderful food that isn't kosher. Occasionally, I get to enjoy shrimp or lobster. And what would the world be without bacon? Here in Ecuador, we enjoy a sort of mini bacon, an animal called a cuy, better known to most as a guinea pig. While I have friends that are vegetarians and friends that keep kosher, I, for one, am grateful that as a general rule, God has blessed all living things as food for us. Verse 4. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. Surely for your lifeblood I will demand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man. From the hand of every man's brother I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he made man. While God's laws never change, his dealings with man do change in some ways throughout history. Adam and Eve were innocent and had one simple commandment: Don't eat that fruit. Yet, even in the perfect garden of God's complete protection and provision, that was apparently too much to ask. Next, we see mankind in what we might call a state of conscience. He has become aware of good and evil through eating the fruit, but is completely unable to do right. The world becomes such a horrible place, polluted by evil, that God destroys it and preserves 8 righteous people to begin again. Now, God gives all animals to be eaten and stresses the importance of human life. Yet in just a short time, evil will flourish on the earth once again. We won't even finish this chapter before we see sin and a curse upon Canaan. And within a handful of generations, mankind will be so messed up that God will forever separate them by language and scatter them to the ends of the earth. Throughout history, sin has abounded on the earth. Yet, in spite of the wickedness of mankind, God has seen fit to make a way of escape for the righteous, those who, through faith, trust in Him. When we eventually get to the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, we'll see that God will protect and preserve every single righteous person. But we are not righteous because of what we do or what we don't do. We are made righteous because that perfect, spotless Lamb, that ultimate sacrifice, died in our place, paid the price for what we have done, and by God's grace provided a way of salvation that we might be clothed in His righteousness, protected in our ark, Jesus, the anointed of God. If you haven't already availed yourself of that provision, please do that now. Call out to Him and put your trust in the Creator of heaven and earth. If, like me, you have already done that, let's not hide our light under a basket. Let's obey His commandment to make disciples. Let's be living testimonies of His great power to save all who enter through the one and only door, Jesus Christ. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.